Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like I have made 3 mistakes at the same time. There we go. We have it figured out. We have it set up. And talking about having it set up, we see the match pop off directly as we start. As we have Los Patrones and Kill Switch going at each other this night. We're gonna start with the northeast courtyard objective. We see Los Patrones immediately take up a lot of space. The Kill Switch players playing a little bit of defense. We might see an early trade here as Churu and Xer immediately trade, putting it down to a 4v4. Starting off this match within the first 30 seconds with some good action. A silver bodyguard gets down Ivan, putting Los Patronos on the back foot as we have Sir Gray and Eduardo on the north side attack. No zone a little bit south on the south side of the market, still rotating towards his general direction, as he might get flanked by Silver Bodyguard, but he doesn't seem to be playing in that direction. Timmy now being in a tight spot, that's the wrong person. Silver Bodyguard takes out Eduardo on that flank, trying to look for no zone, might be able to get the call out. Timmy deciding to move, swings on Sir Gray, gets the pick. Nozo now being in a 1v4 situation. It's not looking good for Los Patronos on the first round of this match. And with that, we've started off well. But it's been a lot of early picks, a lot of aggression. And with that, it has slowed down a lot. We're slowing down. No zone, considering his options, having TNX, TNH sitting right next to him. Timmy on the other side, you might even hear his steps. Tyler still playing in the north, watching north lane, underneath the truck, so he might, if No Zone might make a crazy play here, he could be in trouble. Silver Bodyguard still on his roam, trying to look for where No Zone is, who's sitting still, now waiting for Timmy to peek. We hear some callouts. I don't know what they were talking about. It sounded like a caster. No Zone sneaking up on Timmy, but gets picked off by T and H from behind. First round goes to Kill Switch, and it goes pretty well for, at least for the side of Kill Switch, having Silver Bodyguard with 2 picks on a beautiful flank. Churro with one being the only one on the trade, together with Xer, who's the only one with a kill on the side of Los Patronos. TNH and Timmy both finding one, now leaving the job of defense to Los Patronos. We started off with a interesting high speed round. Hopefully we can continue the excitement, the fun going as we take a look at the at Bazaar. It's a interesting map. It is CQB, but also a mid-range map. It has a little bit of everything. I'm a big fan of it personally. I think it has a very interesting playstyle. It allows you to play aggressive, it allows you to flank, it allows you to take an off angle, and it's a lot of mind games playing with the enemy. You know, one of my big inspirations within the Onward space, Data VR, has a beautiful video on the concept of donkey spacing, and I think that really works out on this map. And for the people that haven't seen the video, go watch it. 100% go watch it. Donkey spacing is an incredibly interesting mechanic and something to think about. I think it works really well on this map because there are so many spaces where you can be right next to each other, but be seconds away from finding each other, because there's so many walls, so many little corners. You can play it smart by, for example, being extremely loud. If you know somebody is on the other side of this tunnel, you know, going in loud, making them peek, and then throwing a grenade at them and pretending you're dumb to get the advantages. We are gonna see a round reset from the side of Kill Switch. Seems like one of their players didn't load in. So hopefully we can quickly get this resolved and not take too long between these round resets. Because it looks like one of the Kill Switch players has dropped, and I'm not sure who it was. But that's an unfortunate position to be in, as now Los Patronos having to wait even longer to get their revenge. But we're gonna see who's gonna take the win tonight. And as a little introduction to these teams, I always like to take a look at their VRML page. I do remember they are currently sitting beautifully next to each other on the leaderboard, on the North American leaderboard at least, because these teams are both North American. We have Killswitch and Los Patronos. Killswitch at 19, Los Patronos at 20th. So, middle of the pack, not too high, not too low. Having shown some prowess, having learned some defeats, we're gonna see who is gonna walk away with the victory so far. As I'm looking at it, Los Patronos being very much starting off with no, actually going back and forth on basically all the matches, winning one or losing one, winning two, losing one, winning one, losing one. So it could go either side for them if we're gonna follow trends. Their Bazaar is actually their most played map with only a round win percentage of 46%. So it's interesting that they take it here, as I do believe it's their map pick in this match. But the round started, 5 kill switch players are in. I'm gonna follow Silver Bodyguard as he had a nice play last round. Let's see if he can continue his. As Sir Grey is gonna peek, gets taken out by Silver Bodyguard indeed. Putting it again into the favor of Killswitch. Playing it a bit slower than Los Patronos. Getting the confirm. Now knowing that his team has the slight advantage of the numbers at least, which can mean a lot, can mean a very little. You have people that kill everyone. You have rounds where, or you have sometimes you have rounds where somebody aces, and sometimes you have rounds where everybody gets one kill, and you win it out in a 1v1. It can go either way. I'm gonna look who is across the map.
Shooting after I smoked the east courtyard.
Churro, making some callouts, playing the long game around, trying to get the flank. As Silver Bodyguard is gonna get pushed here by Ivan.
Yeah, there's one.
Ivan's going for the swing, getting the pick. Well, at the same time, No Zone and DNH trade. Killswitch now being back to a 3-3. Silver Bodyguard getting refragged. Now, Tyler is swinging and trades with Ivan, even though he looked like he had the advantage. Down to a 2v2, as we've seen a lot of trades so far. Timmy still being stuck in the Kiosk building, which I'm sad. There used to be a sign on top here that said Kiosk, and that's why it has its call out. But it's now a lot of call out, like big building, 2-story. Bazaar has a weird culture around its call outs. There's a few. Well, there's some that are set. There's some that have a million names and no names. It is an interesting place, especially as the game gets older. Some callouts start to being used less, some callouts get used more, and I'm a bit out of touch on it. We have a smoke and objective actually being in a rough spot here. Churro might have been able to could have been spotted him, but the smoke saving his life actually. Edorado going for a sneaky nade on Churro might have hurt him. Churro now being in a rough spot, trying to find Edorado. As they barely miss each other. Timmy now trying to look for this pixel. Almost finding a bullet on Exer, not finding the confirm. Exer still playing through that smoke, not allowing anything to go through. Churro going for the rotate all the way north. Might find Adora, looking up the code, making sure he knows what he is gonna do as Timmy takes out Exer, leaving it in a 1v2 situation. As Adora now has a decision to make. Is he gonna keep a closer eye on objective, or is he gonna hold his favoring spot? Pooh. As he takes out Timmy, it's up to Churro in a 1v1 situation. Churro now knowing where he is. Edorado, not knowing where to look. Churro going for the sneaky push, seeing the gun, going for the pre-fire. Finding a bullet, not finding a confirm. Now being in a good position. But he gives it away to let Adoro. I don't know. Idaro. Idaudu? Do? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Goes for the swing and gets the kill, winning the 1v1 and putting it back to 1-1 between the kill switch and Los Patrones, as we are gonna see the tank objective, a newer addition to Bazaar, relatively. I think it was 1.13, if not one before that, but you know, being added a little bit more recently. So might have a bit less of development around it, but still a very fun objective. Reasonably capable as well, as there's a lot of positions to approach it from. Make sure my model is sitting correctly. It likes to move around a little bit, still trying to figure that out. We are gonna see Kill Switch back on defense. So far it's been trading defenses. Kill Switch's defense being a lot less close than Los Patronos. So far we have Ivan with 2 kills on the board. Idardu. TF. TF only having being 2-1. Silver Bodyguard with 3 picks so far, leading the charge, but a very spread out kill leaderboard so far. Everybody doing their bit, and nobody really shining out outside of perhaps Silver Bodyguard. Ooh, seems like something went in the wrong hole. Don't take that out of context. But with that, round 3, taking down the clock. We see a 3-2 split from the side of Los Patronos. Silver Bodyguard not going for his flank that worked very well last time. Instead deciding to play a little bit closer to objective. A heavy lean towards north. A very interesting spot from Timmy, being almost entirely exposed, but it is an unexpected angle. So he might get some value with it, but seeing as we're gonna see 2 people going to Bazaar, he might get an early engagement with, I would say, Ivan it is. Yes, Ivan crawling up the North Street. Looking for that pick on maybe why are these names so difficult? Tylese. We do get the first shots coming out. Tylese.
Okay, North Street, he's about to clap me.
Calling out, I believe that is Ivan.
You're about to see him.
Not covering for Timmy again, so Timmy having to watch it. Ivan still not committing to either side. Gets picked off by Tylese. Tylee, there we go. Leaving it into a 4v5. Timmy hearing Idaru flash coming out. He is not able to pick up his C4. C4 gets shot out. Oh no, I don't think he realizes. Red smoke coming out. Idaru expecting Timmy to swing here. He's holding somewhat of an angle, but allowing Timmy to make the first move. Timmy not sure where to commit to. Timmy, what are we gonna do? So now we have a bit of a stalemate. Who's gonna swing first? And who's gonna let their team to get flanked? Timmy not even holding his gun up, going for a slow peek instead. Swings it, loses it. At the same time, Tylee gets a pick on Exer, and TF got the kill. But a lot of shit happened at the same time. It's now a 3v3. Tylee swinging, finding Sir Grey, not being refragged by Idaru. TNH taken out no zone, leaving Idaru alone in a 1v3 situation. Finds Schneider, finds the pick, indeed. A 1v2. It looks like we're gonna willow it down back to a 1v1 if TF gets the picks he needs. But now knowing, having given away his position, not knowing where to look for the enemy, he's in a rough spot with 3 minutes on the clock, so he can play it slow, he can rotate, he can disengage, or he can just full fucking send it and try to go for the cap. We're gonna see what he has to do. DNH still finding his spot, not really committing to either side. Going for a slow peek around the corner. Interesting move. Churro in a far away spot, but a good angle, holding a very long sideline. But if he misses and TNH goes down, he's in a really bad spot to get to refac or get to a point on time. More than 2.5 minutes on the clock. Anything can happen. But not the right thing for Los Patronos. It is yet another defensive round for the side of Kill Switch. Now being 2-1 in the lead, trading rounds back and forth. Tylee with 4 kills, matching TF with a 4-2 for both their score lines. So far no revives, nobody really jumping out. Silver Bodyguard holding his 3, TNH holding his 3 as well. One thing I see a lot of these players do is I'm gonna be a little bit of a coach, a little bit of a preacher here, you know, preacher without experience. They are swinging slow while sitting down and just crawling around the corner, trying to hold an angle without any cover, which can work, especially in like a 1v2 or a 1v1. Sometimes it's just about getting the information, knowing where the enemy is, but they are in the open a lot. We saw Ivan in the North Street just sitting out in the open, knowing he could have been spotted by Tylee, he could have been swung, but he yet decides to crawl behind the truck. Things like that, I would like to see them either commit or immediately retreat. Understanding, if you shoot, if you're spotted, you move. Because you don't know if there's a flanker around, you don't know if anybody's coming for you, you don't know if they're gonna re-swing it, and you have to take the gunfight. So what you do is you stand up, you keep your gun up at where you last saw them, and then you book it out of there. And you try to find a place to re-engage, find a place to find the element of surprise on the attack again. Because the defenders can just sit in their position and wait for you to peek. They have the time, they have the position in their hand. You just have the element of surprise and the element of unknown on your side. So giving that away and allowing you to get picked off by sitting in the open, by, you know, soft peeking it or slow peeking it, you will lose the advantage you have as the attacker. Which, you don't have a lot of advantage on attacker. You're generally in the losing position. You don't have the position, you don't have the time on your hands. So overall, you want to play, you want to play aggressive. You want to make sure you know when to be aggressive, when to be slow. Timmy going for quick smoke though, giving away his position more than concealing it. Going through a run through it. Tylee not committing, as we're gonna see some shots coming out. Tylee or Silver Bodyguard being traded. No-go in zone. Not going for the confirm here. Slow peeking it, trying to rainbow. Not double tapping the body, leaving Silver Bodyguard alive for now. He seems to be a little bit laggy. Has full line of sight, still doesn't go for the confirm. He might use it as a bait, but TNH might be able to use his information, use his sound, because he was loud swinging it. Just double tap your bodies, people. Double tap your bodies. Please. No-go zone. Eating a flash, swinging it. Double tapping his body, but not going for the confirm on the kill. TNH now just pre-firing, but no-go zone. Going for a quick flick and getting the kill instead. That is a very unfortunate position as Churro takes out Sir Grey. Now on the offensive. Slowing down his momentum immediately after getting a pick. Making sure he has control over his position, control over where to go, where everybody is going. The attack is starting to close in on the side of Los Patronos. It's now a 3v3. We're gonna see a similar situation. Early picks coming out. Kill switch now trying to set up for an attack. I'm a little bit lagged. It's frustrating. They're gonna have to start making a move soon. Double stacking on the pick for no zone. Leaving it in 2v3. Now it is on the side of Los Patrones to be in the back foot. But they pick off Timmy Exer. Going for a full mag dump. Not knowing if Tylee is there. Leaving him down to a 2v2. And interesting positions we see here. Dorado holding across the street. Not really backing up the angle of Exer. Allowing his flank to be entirely open. Churro crawling across. Might get into the line of sight from Idaro, and there we go. I finally remembered to turn on lasers. Can you tell I'm a really good caster? Sure, a rough spot gets baked off. Not checking his corners, not checking the blue room. Now leaving Tylee in a 1v2 situation. And with that, the advantage is lost for Killswitch. 3 minutes on the clock. It looks like it's going to be a defensive round, but maybe Tylee is going to swing it around. Taking out Axer and Idaru. He is in a position to maybe take out Axer and then going for the cap, but he should know where he is. Axer has shot at him, or at least his teammate. He still decides to... Ooh, English. He still decides to take the slower angles, but walk around loudly, giving away his position a lot of the time. Which is a very interesting choice to do, actually swinging it and taking the kill. As yet again, Tylee playing it too loud, playing it too aggressive, not taking his time, not playing it slow. I think that's a trend we're gonna see a lot today. These teams seem to really like to play aggressive, really like to swing, really, you know, be the ones to take the initiative. But sometimes that is gonna cost you a round. That's gonna mess you up, as you know, you just have to take it slow. Sometimes waiting, or, you know, slow crawling, being quiet on the attack could really help these teams out. But with that, we're going to one of the harder objectives to defend. And to quote the mentor, the guy, the senior Theta, once again, this objective is impossible to defend on your own. There's so many angles, there's so many spots, there's so many little crawly holes people can crawl into and cap on you. If you're alone in this objective, I have a suggestion. Either you run around like a prowling tiger and just run around the objective, being as loud, scaring people off to not allow the cap, or just put in the coach yourself on defense and accept the round loss if you're in a 1vx situation. Because you can cap from anywhere. There's a spot here, you can cap, maybe behind the barrel. There's so many spots and it is so hard to defend. So sometimes you just give up, you can't win it and prevent the cap. But with that, the leaderboard, TF taking the lead with 5-2 so far, but Killswitch having a very, very nicely spread out leaderboard, 4-4-3-3 and a 2 kills for Churro. This team seems to be incredibly well put together, having being fit for each other, having a similar skill level, and playing together to improve together. That is most of the time what you want as a team. But with that, Los Patrones, TF popping off pretty good. No Zone and Xer both having 3 kills each as well, really putting in the work for their team, proving why they're here, why they're in spot 20 for this the VRML this season. But they're trying to go up. Timmy with a nasty angle on Xer gets the pick, not allowing Xer to continue his kill streak and trying to stay positive. Sir Gray looking at the tablet, trying to get some intel, trying to make some callouts to his team, making sure they're all coordinated. Let's see where Timmy is hiding. He seems to have changed his angle a little bit. Oh, he almost peeks Idaru.
He's in the west courtyard.
Makes a call out. Peeks it. As risky as it is. Free fire coming out. DNH going for an LMG pick, which is not something I see very often in the higher rated lobbies. So kind of caught me by surprise, but it works. Suppressive fire is incredibly powerful if used correctly. Timmy not backing down from his position, still continuing to peek whatever he thinks are the enemies, and just keeping the space. Idaru might swing him here, or is he too short for the spots, as No Zone takes out Silver Bodyguard, who popped off round 1 and has not yet been able to really continue that. TF holding a angle on the top but not really realizing Timmy has dropped low. Ivan now been in a good position to get some off angle on Timmy, but they have slowed it down. They have realized, hey, the first picks are out, we're gonna play it slower. We're gonna make sure we have the confirms here. Timmy outwalking once again, allowing Ivan to peek. That was a jiggle peek, maybe. We're gonna see. could be challenged. Let's clip that real quick. As Ivan looking for Timmy. Looking up, not looking down. They don't now have to launch of fire on Timmy. Timmy really has to give up this space soon, or he's gonna get picked off. He's crouching up and down, trying to get an angle. Ivan not looking down his barrel, going for the swing. Doesn't keep his gun first and lets Timmy pick him off. That's rough. Good play from Timmy, you know. And he commits to the peek again. Timmy, you mad lad. Timmy is that guy. He is not scared. He doesn't care. He's getting shot at. He's gonna peek it again. He's gonna peek it again. He's gonna peek it again. He's peeking it from the bottom side. Keeping the enemies guessing where he is at all times. He is not willing to give up the space. He's not willing to give up the spot. He knows he's been found out. But he still commits to this play. Doesn't see no zone on the top. Almost gets spotted out. Now we're gonna see an interesting crossfire. Idaru holding the top. A nade coming out.
Last one.
Timmy downing Idaru. Getting pre-fired by zone but not connecting. Sir Grey finishing off the NH. Leaving it in the 2.5v2.5. As Idaru gets picked back up, but Churro stays down to an 8. Timmy looking for that angle. Looking for that push. Sure, Grey could swing it here. It might get picked off by Tylee as he has the back of Timmy. Timmy still continuing to contest the space. He does not let Los Patronos attack to this area. He's looking for the angle. Are they swinging? No-go zone swings right at the same time as Idaru does. The revive from on Churro comes out. Timmy swinging it. Being so loud, so aggressive. And still not getting punished for it. He's wasting so much time on the side of Los Patronos. As he picks it up again. Gets two guns fired at him. Trades off Churro on TF. Leaving no zone alone in a 1v2. Timmy is being allowed so much value with the spot. And still doesn't get punished for his aggression. And takes the trade with no zone. Timmy is him. He is allowed to control that space so much, to deny so much value, and Los Patronos just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing through. Not willing to give up, not willing to change their direction, still pushing on to Timmy. I am at a loss for words. I don't know what to say here. I find it hard. These are silver teams. I have the bird's eye view, and I don't want to be too critical of these teams. But I do want to teach them something. I do want to give them the opportunity to learn. Because that is what we, what's good for everybody. You know, learning a bit is always good. But sometimes it is okay to give up space, to re-engage. And Los Patronos continuing to push through the same spot into the same guy that has a very advantageous position. Losing, I believe, 4 people to just Timmy. 3 or 4. Losing it to just Timmy is what I would call a misplay. Los Patronos had all the space in the world. They could have engaged the north road. Gone all around Timmy. They could have disengaged. Fell all the way back and gone for a bizarre push. They had minutes left on the clock. There was a good 4 or 5, I would say a good 2-3 minutes still on the clock. They could have gone around south and re-engaged on his circling, on his rotate area. They could have engaged at any other point, and yet they decide to still push through the same spot. As we see a round reset from Los Patronos coming out. Sir Grey, are you gonna commit to the round reset? Ooh. Los Patronos playing it very close with a very dangerous round. If they didn't do that in time, Killswitch would have won the first map, which is a very rough position to be in. See, there we go. But with that, we're hopefully gonna see the round start again. That's been the second round reset so far. One on kill switch, one on side of Las Patronas. I really hope I pronounced it right. I believe I'm pronouncing it with a Spanish pronunciation. At least my very poor multilingual, not Spanish speaking pronunciation. So please call me out if I do it wrong. But I believe it's Los Patronos. That is what I believe it is. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just a dumb person that speaks two languages. So I might not pronounce it right, but we'll see. But with that, hopefully we can get the round on the road. Looking at the scoreboard, we have Timmy taking the lead with an absolute beautiful round. And getting 7 kills on his own, just playing around 1 point. We have the TF with 6 following him. And with that, we might see the last round for kill switch here, but so far it's been just defensive rounds. What am I confused about, personally, is why is my movement lagging? I'm stuttering a bit, and I hope it doesn't retain throughout the maps. Might just be a bad connection. With that, we hopefully... Oh no. Oh no. DF hasn't loaded in. And they already used their round reset. Having to go in a defense round with 4v5 on the map point is a rough position to be in. And for the people new here, I know some people just joined. I see you, almost poetic. It is 3 maps, first to 4, as we're gonna see a lot of action coming out. I explain later. I don't know if my internet is bad or if somebody else is lagging. I should close some tabs. But we are... it's first to 4 points, and there's 3 maps. If you win 2 maps, you win the match, but you can still regain some elo by winning or doing well on the 3rd map. So you play all 3 maps. Whoever wins 2 maps wins the match, but you still play all 3 to get the score. Silver Bodyguard not reacting to the misplay from No Zone, but Tyler getting the refrag on Ivan, leaving it in a 2v3. Los Patronos being able to make up for the lack of players, now leaving Tyler and Timmy in a rough situation, only losing, I would say, Ivans. There we go. So far, so it's going very well for Los Patronos. They might be able to make up for they made up for the player down. Now hopefully they can get it to match point and maybe win on attack. But so far it's been only defense runs. So kill switch is looking to take it home on map 1 at least. We hear a 2 or 3 coming out. I believe that was Timmy indeed. Oh no, they're both using underbarrel smoke launchers, I should say. Grenade launchers are banned on this map, as it is considered a small map. But Tylee running across after firing his 2 or 3, leaving Gray to get an easy pick, leaving Timmy in a 1v3 situation. And it looks like Los Patronos is gonna win it on defense again. You know, it's a pattern. I like patterns. We're gonna keep it going. But Timmy having 7 kills on the board. He might be able to close it out here, getting 10 kills or getting a cap even, and upsetting the pattern of defensive focused or defensive rounds. But he's playing it slow. He's sneaking up the north wall. He's taking his time. He has 3.5 minutes on the clock. Generally, around the minute mark, you really want to start running, but he has more than enough time to sneak it up, play it slow, play it quiet, not do what we saw the mistakes being made earlier, where people were playing loud, playing aggressive. He can just wait. He hears No Zone, it seems like. He's almost aiming it directly through the wall. Having his gun up but pointed at nothing is an interesting choice. Still crouching. And now the game starts to slow down. This is where we're gonna see the bane of my existence and Onward's true nature. Where the game slows down and it just becomes a crawl fest. Timmy not letting know his position. Plays it slow. Sir Grey. Boo! Words. Sir Grey, you know, running around the top of Kiot. Exer playing in the same spot. Timmy got a lot of value as we see some some Spanish callouts coming out. I have no idea what they mean, but Nozone seems to be able to take some message out of it as he seems to play closer angle. Playing a crossfire with Exer here on the south side is an interesting play as Timmy is still crawling up from the north nose and rotating back to the Kiot building. Playing first floor. Still playing loud. They're running around, they're full sprinting. Which, good work, but on defense you aren't in a rush. I know you're clearing things, but you might have exposed yourself. You might have seen him. Timmy gets taken out by Nozone. Putting it back to a 3v3. Los Patronos winning a 4v5 while only losing one of their players. Pooh, English words. TF finding his way back into the lobby. Nozo now being 8-5, pulling the card for the kills. Really picking it up, getting another 2. You know, it's some really good stuff. Having a average kills of 1.3 per round, if I do my math right. We're gonna see round 8, and it looks like it's gonna be a 5v5. Kill switch being on the defense, having the advantage here, but we might see an upset. We saw it happen in the Cherry tournament, where the Fallen Sigmas didn't win a single match and lost their first map. Their first 2 matches in a last round objective, losing the first one with where there was also a trade of defenses, losing it in a upset from the attackers. Hopefully Los Patronos can keep their players in, can get their stuff together, and clears out this match. But maybe Killswitch is going to continue their defensive behavior. Why am I jittering? I'm gonna try to fix this because it's getting on my nerves. No, nothing could be downloading. I hope. Might have to check my internet. We have a little bit jitter in the. There you go, like that. It's really pissing me off, but I have a bit of jitter in the movement. However, that's besides the point. We're now focused on these teams at Los Patronos, standing up to take their attack for the last time. Killswitch defending for the last time on Bazaar. An interesting objective. It's very capable. We've seen a lot of plays being made. Sir Grey just tossing his gun in front of him, trying to, you know, get as fast as you can to the spots. Might find an early one. No, we're gonna see smokes instead, as the objective building is gonna get smoked out heavily. But Tylee gets 2-3 picks through the smoke. What a play from Tylee. Nozone taking out DNH, but it's already looking bad for Los Patronos. They have lost so much. Tylee looking for his confirms, making sure he has all of them. The silver bodyguard takes out Nozone. Idora being the last one alive and gets taken out by Stimmy within 40 seconds of the round. Killswitch is taking the first map and is taking it home, or is taking it home and gonna be the one picking the next map in a 4-3 with Tylee with 9 kills, Timmy with 8, Churro with 2, keeping up the defense side. Silver bodyguard 5-5. DNH, I believe, disconnected, so he's 3-5. Could be better. Could be a different score, but looks like we're gonna be going to Egress. Another closer quarters map, another CQB-like map, so similar to Bazaar, but both these teams seem to favor it, seeing the last round go off. Let me quickly go to the scoreboard. There we go. I absolutely adore it. I put a lot of effort into it. I now have dynamic scores. As I slightly geek out a bit. We're going to be looking at map 2. So far, it's been in the favor of Killswitch, but Los Patronos has been putting in a very good fight. Kill Switch starting off on the attack. And Los Patrones. Patrones on the defense. And we're gonna be looking at the north objective. I have not seen this played a lot. Personally, in my own playing, in casting, I haven't seen Egress. I haven't casted Egress yet. Or at least, yeah, no, I haven't casted Egress yet because it came out after my hiatus started for a long time. Up, let me update the scoreboard. Let me put it on the scoreboard. No, hold on. There. There we go. I'm gonna see if I can quickly add the image I've been wanting to add. There we go. Oop, crop it to make it fit. Oop, and I made a mistake. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm doing things on the fly and that's a bad idea. But I figured it out. Here we go. And oh, that's shot. Okay, there you go. Added the map to the scoreboard. The round has started, so we're gonna quickly go back to the gameplay. Kill switch starting on the attack, I believe. Yes. Yep. There we go. I did it correctly. We don't see a weird switch. There we go. Thank you for the follow, Blair. There's a 3-minute delay, so I might not be able to reply to chat. To keep the competitive integrity of the match, as this is a league sanctioned match, as they like to say. I've gotten permission from both of these teams to cast them, to get them some footage, because sometimes it is nice to have a bird's eye view. But we're gonna see a very interesting attack from the side of Kill Switch, going for a incredibly spread out attack. We see the first shot coming out on the north side. Timmy playing it under the truck. Deciding to disengage, not commit to this push. It sounded like he was spotted out. Tiley playing in a very interesting spot as well.
I'm gonna check the flank.
Making some colors, I think he's rotating. Changing his attack, you know, sometimes that's the better thing to do. Silver Bodyguard going for a basement push instead. Playing it slow, playing it quiet. It is a surrounding attack. If there's anything to call it surrounding attack, this is a surrounding attack. TNH downs Ivan on a trade. They both down each other. Both not having a teammate in the closest vicinity, no zone, looking for that revive. Churro might be in position, but looks like he's disengaging or at least changing his angle. No zone opting in to use the AKM, one of the least used weapons, as it doesn't allow you to use a foregrip, and thus being harder to control, but being higher damage. Finds Churro and getting punished for his gun throws, it seems like, as he struggles to get the gun on target. Only leaving Churro downed. Now having 2 players down on the side of Kill Switch. Tiley seems to be going for that push instead. Silver Bodyguard being directly under Sir Grey. We're gonna see him maybe an engagement there. Sir Grey playing it upstairs, might be finding Timmy as well. Now being in a really rough spot, as he might get surrounded soon. Los Patrones still having a down on their side, but doesn't seem like anybody's moving for that revive, so we might see 2 revives coming out for the side of Kill Switch. Grenade coming out, Sir Grey opting to go outside and flank Timmy here, but gets picked off by Tylee, who happened to look in the right direction, saving Timmy's life, who just realized what the fuck happened. Gathers himself, continues his push forwards, playing it slower, playing it quieter. Seemed to have realized what went wrong on Bazaar, or what went right at least, as the first revive comes out. Exer now being in a very tight spot, might have his head showing, not entirely. Silver bodyguard crawling up, having his aim trained on the right side as objective is right there. Exer having his hand on his tablet. TF taking the kill, Exer pulling out his gun and getting the trade, but losing his life in the process, leaving Killswitch with 4 alive as they take the first round on attack. And for the first time, the game has changed. It's no longer defense wins. At least on this map. Killswitch take the first win on the attack. So this is no longer the same as Bazaar. It is a very different game. But with that, on the scoreboard we have Silver Bodyguard with 2 on the... I cannot speak tonight. It is insane. I cannot speak English tonight. Silver Bodyguard with 2 kills. TNH with 1, as well as Tylee and Churro, both finding a single kill. Exer and Ivan being the only one to find a kill for themselves as well, as both of those were trades, I believe. So now Killswitch, having the advantage, might be able to pull in, or at least continue their lead into round 2 of the second map. Let's see if I can... there we go. No, I want this one. Actually, I want this one. I realized I could do something cool. There we go. And then we're gonna... Oh, that's the wrong scene. I have changed my my setup a good amount, so I'm trying to improve it as I go along. Hold up. Here we go. Clean. There we go. Now this should be set up to have the scoreboard on the screen. Up. I still have stream mode on. There we go. And then I can hide it again. There we go. But it goes over my face. Oh well, that's worth it. The attack for Los Patrones. Having to answer a loss on defense after winning defense every single round. We see a different split here. No Zone and Exer both going down the basement, where we saw Silver Bodyguard make a play. Flashes, calls out. There's one guy here, as far as my Spanish understanding goes. Goes for the pre-fire, swings it. Silver Bodyguard finding Exer. No Zone going for the refrag. Silver Bodyguard realizing it. Goes for the swing as well after popping a syringe. Taken out too. Putting Killswitch on the advantage. Silver Bodyguard continuing to push through. Sir Grey getting taken out by Tylee as he does not get the trade he was looking for. Now leaving Ivan and Idora or TF alive. A 2v5 situation. It's looking bad for Los Patrones. This seems to be Killswitch's map, which they did pick it. But after losing on Bazaar, it could be over very, very quickly here, as these teams are both aggressive and like to play fast. Silver seeing Ivan, not finding him. TF playing similar spots, similar approach. Silver looking for him, not getting the pick, but Churro does get TF as Ivan takes out Silver Bodyguard, leaving it into a 1v4 situation. Ivan in a rough spot, having to make a very long run. He is in a good position to maybe set up a sneaky cap, but he has a lot of players that he has to go through. I should have done this beforehand, but it's fine. It is a community guest. You know, I do this for fun. I can have my own little fun, do my own little setups and stream. There we go. Ah, it didn't work. Hold on. I think I might have to wait for Ivan to be to take out the rest of the team. A beautiful grenade going down on Tylee. As actually, I think that might have been a C4, and Ivan's grenade finishing it off, which is an even worse fate. But Churro takes out Ivan. Los Patronos being on the back foot in a 2-0 scoreline. Not looking good for them. No, maybe it's not their objective. Maybe they're getting used to the new map, or the new map, the different map than Bazaar. You know, it's a different change of pace. Killswitch seems to have changed up the pace a good amount as well. There we go. There we go. Beautiful cams. I quickly. Oh, why is it? It's not the same transition and it bothers me. Oh well. Wait. Slide? Right. High transition. Slide. Direction left. And now. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. There we go. Round 3. It is looking rough for Los Patrones. Ivan being the only one to find any more kills than Axer. Axer with 1 on the board. Ivan with 3. It's looking very much kill switch sided. Silver Bodyguard being 4 and 2. Churro being 3 and 0. Tylee with 2 and 1. And TNH with 1 and 1. Timmy not finding any engagements yet. Well, playing a little slower, playing a little bit more defensively. Those are sometimes the players you need. But with that, round 3 is gonna shape up. And it's gonna be a high pressure round for Los Patrones. Because if Killswitch can cap it here, it is match over. It doesn't matter what they do in map 3. It doesn't matter what else they do. They have lost the match. Well, it matters. You know, they can get a better score, lose less MMR for losing the rest of the rounds. But it would be a loss of MMR either way. Killswitch. Setting up. I seem to have done this wrong. There we go. Let me double check the scores are correct. Yes, there we go. First engagement coming out. Flash. Silver Bodyguard doesn't seem to be affected by it. Nozone does find Timmy, however. Taiji trading with Axer. Axer being downed. Making callouts. Silver finishing him off. Making callouts on what is happening, but Sure Grey, hearing his callouts, hearing his gunfire, is now looking for an angle to try to get the refrag for Axer and take the early advantage as they trade. That seems like a interesting connection going on there. Killswitch only left with 2 players, now having Churro and TNH to continue their win streak, are having to give up their first point on this map to Los Patronos. They're playing the long game. They're playing it slow. They're trying to find an interesting angle. Maybe trying to find an early peak. But so far, Los Patronos doesn't seem to be really giving up a lot of space. Leaving TF on point. Ivan nearby. And only Nozone extended into the little gas station. Which is far away from objective. If he has to run back. So this is an interesting play, but he is watching the back door and relying on his teammates to make callouts, let him know when anything goes down. He's going to be the first time to collapse. TNH, Churro still playing together, playing it slow, playing around the outside, still having 4 minutes on the clock all the time in the world to make plays, to make anything happen, continue their win streak. But with that, the game gets slow. And that's when I start to struggle as a caster, because I like to talk fast about a lot of action happening. Ugh. Make sure to stretch, make sure to hydrate, even if you're watching. You know, it's always good to keep a little bit of drink, keep a little bit of a snack, Make sure you're comfortable, you're taken care of. Smoke coming out, Churro making noise, letting the team of Los Patronos know what is happening, where they're coming from. Ivan immediately changes his attack from playing close to playing aggressive, peeks out on TNH. A smoke from Churro coming out. Ivan now knowing where to look, where to watch. Grenade dropping just short under the door. As Churro is now in a 1v3. He's waiting. He's looking for Ivan. He's looking for anybody pushing him, anybody peeking him. But Ivan deciding after getting the definitive advantage to push back. To not continue their push forward. And instead re-engage it again. Playing it slow, playing and re-engage. No, the enemy team now knows where you are. You have 2.5 minutes on the clock. Almost half the match still has to be half the round, I should say, still has to be played. And he has all the time in the world to change his attack. Being 3-0, might wanting to preserve his stat line at least a little bit, or maybe playing it carefully. If we take a quick look at the scoreboard. Silver Bodyguard with 6 and 3, putting in the kills, but also having 3 deaths. So playing it more aggressively, playing it more head-on, more fights. So of course he gets more kills. With Churro being 3-0, I think is more impressive. Because that means you really are careful and winning your fights instead of just trading or playing overly aggressive and maybe getting 1 or 2 picks and dying. Which might look really good on stream, might look really good on the scoreboard, but it is not what you wins you the game. Churro is running under the enemy, giving away exactly where he's going, what he's doing. No words are spoken. But a lot of thoughts are being had as he loots a body to get some util. 1 minute in the clock, he given away that he was heading north. Los Patrones knows roughly where he is. There's about 2 angles he can engage from, and he has a minute on the clock. It is starting to look desperate for Churro. If it didn't look bad before, it is now. The clock is ticking down. We're gonna hear the beep 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 of the 30 seconds remaining, and that's when we might see the panic kick in. It doesn't look good for kill switch. It doesn't look like they're gonna 4-0 it or 3-0 it yet. It looks like this round is going in the side of Los Patronos. The beep 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 come out. Churro realizing it's all or nothing right now. Flash out. Nobody got affected. Pre-firing, swinging it. Ivan looking for that frag. TF giving away the position, but Churro had no time to re-engage. And just runs into the position of TF. Giving kill switch. Giving away a round to Los Patronos. It is a tough position to be in. In a 1v3, you want to make sure you engage right. You want to make sure you at least try something. Sometimes you sit with it a little bit too long, and you end up with a lack of time. There's only 6 minutes in a round. You have to make a play, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But it doesn't mean kill switch is out of the game where Los Patrones is winning. Kill switch did win the first map, as we can see here, as Los Patrones has taken the point off of kill switch. So far, let me actually keep the scoreboard open. It is 4-6 as kill switch has taken the first map 2, and now could be going either way. So far, kill switch has been dominant, but hasn't been undefeated. Whew. The game, this match is weird. To give my personal opinion, to drop a bit of the caster, unbiased persona. This match is fucking weird. It's my channel, I can do whatever I want. This match is fucking weird. We see a lot of aggression, a lot of pushes, attacks, and then it just slows down. it slows down. It's a 1v3, it's a 1v2, a lot of 1v1s, or 1v1 or 1v2 situations. And it just slows down, and we see a slow push, and we see weird choices being made. I see very interesting reasoning. Running through the basement full speed, giving away exactly where you're coming from, then flashing with 30 seconds remaining. I get the flash. The flash I understand. You know, you needed some util, you grabbed some flashes to make something work. But it's just rough. You know, you give away where you are. You let them know, like, hey, I'm coming from this side of the building. Look my way, I'm loud. But then we also see a slow play when, you know, across the north wall from Bazaar. This is definitely a change of pace of the whatchamacallit, of the higher level teams. The Masters, the Gold, or the Platinums I've seen earlier. You know, it's a different pace, it's a different teams, and they seem to have a very similar playstyle of pushing till you start losing, and then you slow it down, and then you look for picks and you try to equalize the numbers. But I think if either of these teams really slowed it down, slow it down where it matters, slow it down on the approach, make sure you have your attack going off at the same time, you surround the building and all collapse, either with spamming util, with dropping everything. Ooh, wait, Churro. Churro's feet are visible. His feet are showing. Oh, that is a very tiny angle. Exer. That's rude. I was quickly listening for kill switch callouts, and they seem to be arguing pretty expressively. Exer, out in the open, crawling across, scanning a lot of angles, but not really holding one. He's not really looking at one spot where he should be worried about. He's not clearing his rights. He's not checking behind the car. He's just holding an angle in a single direction. Quickly checking around him. Churro, still being patient. Might have spotted him, heard him. The British team's chatter. Oh, Exer. Oh no. Churro going for the clicks. Flashing. Doesn't get Exer. Exer gets the pick. Churro had the perfect angle and managed to, I'm gonna say it, managed to absolutely fondle his perfect angle on 2 picks. He could have just gone for a raw peak, you know, swing it or get swung, but no, he decided to play utility that is allowed, lets you know where you roughly are, and also fumbles the toss. Silver bodyguard taken out. Ivan taken out Exer. What a team kill! That is rough. Los Patrones losing one to a C4, losing one to a team kill. Ivan now having to make up for it. Again, loud walking into the building, letting Silver Bodyguard know where he is roughly, and only now slowing down. A lot of it comes to the awareness of your surroundings, awareness of the amount of noise you're making. Grabs the smoke, tosses the smoke. So bodyguard going for the pre-fire. I want to know what Ivan is thinking here. Timmy gets big, flash coming through. Not really connecting with anything. Ivan pushing through a smoke and just getting shot from 3 different angles. Leaving Sir Grey alone. Los Patronos winning the last round with a nice play. Absolutely fumbling it. Sir Grey now being them 1v4. Silver Bodyguard full sprinting outside. Letting Sir Grey take the pick. Timmy. Looking at his tablet in the elevator, in this smoke. It doesn't matter. TNH already has the pick. And it is a 3-1 for the side of Kill Switch. Oh. There we go. Ah, we're not betting yet. There. That is the one I wanted. Now, scoreboard. There we go. Haha. Proud of that one. We're gonna take a look at the next objective. As it is a, I would say, very different objective. A lot more angles, a lot more open, a lot more out there. And we're gonna see if Kill Switch is gonna be able to win it on attack this time. Take it back. You know, to round 2. Win it, or round 1, I should say. Burps. Or if Los Patrones might be able to bring it back. You know, we never know. We never know what's gonna happen with these teams. It seems to be very dependent who gets the first pick, who gets the early aggression, and that is gonna dictate the match. That's gonna dictate the speed. If we're gonna see 2-3 defender or attackers drop, the attackers immediately slow down. They crouch. They are very afraid to commit to anything because they feel like they're alone. While the defenders usually just sit in their spot, but if they start dropping, the attackers are just gonna run through. I honestly think that these teams could really benefit from, it might sound silly, but from learning the maps, learning the timings of where people could be, where people play. And I think that's just like watching other people, you know, watching their own gameplay, and maybe watching the teams they're going up against. Where do people play? How defensive do they play? Something I personally do is I ask my friends or players that I know have played other teams that I'm facing, or I'm, you know, maybe helping out for, like, hey, what speed are we playing? What's the kind of pace we're setting for the attackers and for the defenders? For example, I had a match where I played as a substitute, but it's like, hey, these players play incredibly slow. So I know I can adjust. Like, they're probably not gonna play a crazy flank, and they're not gonna play a like, you know, they're gonna play a close defense. They're gonna go for those picks, and I can adjust on that. I can know where to look and where to expect people actually taken out too. Setting Kill Switch back to a 3v4 instead of a Kill Switch only leaving 1 alive as Los Patrones take out 2 more. It is not looking good for Kill Switch to run. But as I was saying, learning where can people be, what is the furthest they can get before they, you know, I run into them. If I run full speed here, where do people generally sit? Which takes time, which takes experience, and sometimes just playing pubs or playing scrims can really teach you that. Like, hey, where do I look, where do I watch, and how do I anticipate onto this? You know, if you know the other team is very aggressive, you can play a closer defense. You can, you know, maybe wait out the first minute to see if they're gonna do any crazy runs, pick them off, and then play a numbers advantage, play trades, play refrags. There's another thing that these teams don't really seem to be doing a major, is looking for those refrags. They're very spread out. They're very much going alone, which can work, but a lot of it is just they're running out in the open. They're running aggressive when they should be having their gun up, and they're running slow when they can play aggressive. And then, of course, I have the wall hacks. I know where they are, but I do think that is something these players could learn by playing a lot, playing scrims, watching VODs, watching VRML. But also, yeah, so, you know, but of course, not everybody has time to study. Not everybody has time and the space and the energy to do all that. And sometimes it's just about having fun with friends, and, you know, that's fine too. But TNH looking for a play. 3.5 minutes on the clock. Slow walking it. Not knowing where to look. Not knowing where to go. As there still is a flanker on the loose. Not unsure where to look. One thing I do find interesting is, I believe it's Sir Grey. Is crouch walking in the area he has cleared. Is slow walking through his... There we go, now he finally stands up. He wasn't sure if his goals were confirmed, he kept pushing it. And yet he was slow walking. If they were alive, they could have called him out. He now decides to take a really long route back. That is interesting. If TNH were to make a play here, he is in a bad position to be in. And once again, the game is slowed down. The first picks came out. Killswitch lost the advantage, and I'm gonna say it lost a round, practically. Unless TNH is gonna do a crazy play. They lost a round in the first minute, 2 minutes. They're not allowing themselves to set up to get an advantage. They just run in, they gunfight and gunfight and gunfight, and hope they get the kills that, hope to get the kills and win the round that way. But it's just not working. At least, you know, it has worked for Killswitch, but it's not gonna work against a team that you can't out-aim. And sometimes, I generally think they could work on their teamwork and positioning. But I'm not here to coach. I'm here to just watch, give my own commentary, and have a good time, you know? Because these teams, they do put up a good fight. I don't think I could absolutely carry them, as I make a lot of the same mistakes as they do. But sometimes you don't realize you make a mistake and it helps for somebody else to point them out. With that, Killswitch. Or Los Patrones taking the round. Exer, 5 on the board. Taking the lead, but getting absolutely dwarfed by Silver Bodyguards. 8 kills. There we go. And Los Patrones not letting go of that victory just yet. Is now putting Killswitch on the defense, and so far we've seen that the defense side is favored, at least by the side of is favored for both teams. Killswitch being the only one to take any attacker or take a attacker's round, but not taking a follow up on that yet. We're gonna see the same objective, and I want to see if Los Patrones can maybe, you know, pull it together with their positioning and make it work. But for that, we're gonna need the round to start. On the scoreboard, we do have Churro with 3, Tai with 3, Ivan and Sir Grey and No Zone all having 3 kills each. That's a very nice spread out. Scoreboard, TF and Timmy both having 1, and TNH being the only one with 2. So far, lots of back and forth, lots of slow, or rough starts, slow ends of rounds. I really hope we can get a round going. There we go. As these rounds seem to take a while, and I can't talk for that long. I'm starting to get tired. I'm from the EU, for the people that didn't know. It is currently 4:30 AM. I've also not slept a lot tonight, so I probably am gonna regret this tomorrow, as I'm getting severely sleep deprived. But you know, I'm having fun. These teams, you know, they're putting up a good show. It's a lot of action, and I'm very grateful for letting them cast. And I hope they're not too insulted by my commentary. I hope, please. Let me know if you do. I don't want to piss off anybody, and you know, sometimes I can be a little harsh, can be a little rough on people, even when they're way better than me.
Don't beat that. Yeah, we already know that it's coming across.
Silver getting taken out by Exer. Churro taking out Sir Grey. Or no, they traded Sir Grey and Exer, or Churro. Exer's still alive. Going for a flash. Might be a high value flash, but Timmy not allowing him to push. He still decides to peek it. Flashes it again and pushes through. loud walking in, giving away his position to... Maybe giving away his position to Timmy if Timmy heard him. If Timmy didn't, Timmy's in a bad spot. How many times can I say Timmy in a single sentence? But with that, we do see kill switch being in the back foot. Los Patrones going for a surrounding, once again, a pretty good setup. Now they can just play their numbers advantage. Force kill switch to make mistakes. And play for picture. Wait out Timmy, just let him make a mistake. Let him be too aggressive. We do have a laser, at least one laser pointed at him, Exer. Also looking in the same direction, not realizing his team is already there. Tylee playing it slow. Timmy deciding to stay low. TNH playing it on the backside. Not having anybody there to look at him. Timmy swings straight out with no zone. Tylee gets taken out. For some reason, it sounded like his gun was on semi or he was trying to tap fire. Leaving TNH in a 1v3 situation. Flasher coming out. And a cap from Los Patronos. Sorry! A cap from Los Patronos! There we go, that's the energy I needed. I didn't register what was going on. I thought, oh, he's gonna swing. Los Patronos just capped under his nose while standing up. And takes the map. Taking the 2 points. And starting off with a 2-0 deficit. Now taking the lead. As we go to my full face cam. Taking the... Whoa, that didn't work. What is wrong there? Huh? Why is it like that? No, that's not the one I wanted to move. Why does the scoreboard not have a background? For some reason it didn't load. But there we go. Huh? Hold on. It looks like the background video doesn't want to load for some reason. But it's now 7-7. There we go. Yes, there's no pre-saved. There's pre-saved camera positions. But yeah, the scoreboard seems to be having a bit of a rough time. Currently 7-7. Both taking a map. Both taking a. Both taking a map, and now kill switch was looking so good. Losing it in the last round. Oh, what? Let me... Okay. Did I... Now it's working. Hold on, this needs to be cropped back down. Nope. Not that one. This one. There we go. Now being 7-7 score. It is a decider map. As I'm quickly gonna go... There. Waiting for the teams to get ready. We have the side of... Now I need to make the right choice. Say the right thing. Which is Los Patronos on the attack. Patrones. And the side of kill switch. Kill underscore switch. We'll never know. On the defense. Starting off on quarantine. There we go. And I'm quickly gonna see if I can add the background to the scoreboard, because I like things to be pretty. Could make a joke about hating myself because of that, but we're not gonna do that. And with that I infer the joke, and it's still funny. Here we go. I found the image. Crop it down. The round has started. Almost. We're gonna have to fix this later. Oh god, these teams are already at it. As we see the first picks coming out on this side of Los Patronos. Taking out 2 kill switch members. That is a rough start to the defense on this map. Because this map, you wanna have a lot of defenders. There's a lot of angles, there's a lot of spots to push from. And now it's looking rough for the side of kill switch. So losing their map they were looking very good on to a cap. Now being in a Vitali made 4v3. Timmy running outside, running away, running around the objective. Consider a very close spot. Silver bodyguard in a lot more pushed up position. Might find Ivan here. Might find bodyguard in a trade. Ivan only being downed. Leaving it in a 2v3.5. Timmy still circling around objective. That is an interesting spot to play. I'm surprised by that. Dali playing further back in the garage area. We're now gonna see Los Patronos set up an attack. It looks like they're leaving Ivan behind. Not going back for him. Sir Graham might have spotted Timmy or Timmy. Going for a quick peek. Giving away his position, and I don't believe. Yes, he cannot leave. Ooh, the use of the smoke allows him to leave, but he's still in an angle where he might get spotted. If he only peeks a little bit too much, or if these Los Patronos members are looking in the right direction. It looks like no zone. I thought he was gonna go back for his teammate, but he decides against it. Continuing to push forward together with his teammate there, DF, which.
Yes, and inside. Both.
Tali changing his position once again, now looking towards the same angle Timmy is. Which might be good, might be bad. Because if you both look the same way, you're not looking somewhere else, and that could be very, very detrimental. Ivan does get picked up as Sir Gray seems to have gone back. Los Patronos losing no zone. They were trying to look through the window, but getting picked up by Timmy. Now they know where Timmy is. Do not know where Tyler is. TF is looking in the right direction, trying to deny Timmy from peeking. Timmy staying tucked in, at least for now. He does not stay tucked in. He peeks it. He swings it. He continues to swing and stay out in the open. In a 2v3 situation. Maybe it's a play, maybe it's not. I couldn't tell you. He does hear Ivan. He doesn't see TF. The smoke coming out from Ivan. We might see the setup of a cap here as the flash comes out. The pre-fire connecting with Ivan. Timmy calling it out. Ty Lee now being in a rough spot. Deciding to play loud and push TF. Flash coming out, dropping short. Ty Lee getting the pick instead, leaving Sir Gray in a 1v2 situation. Killswitch being able to clean up their disadvantage into an advantage of a 2v2 spot. And now it's getting fun. Ty Lee deciding to go up on the roof, not knowing where Sir Gray is. That isn't... Is he on the roof? He is peeking it, he is swinging it, not knowing where he is. Sir Gray could be anywhere. And finds Ty Lee, leaving Timmy in a 1v1 situation. Sir Gray cleaning it up to a 1v1. Spotting Timmy, pre-firing, deciding to push forward instead of backing off. Putting himself in a rough spot here. As Timmy now knows where he is. And he knows where Timmy is. Now it gets tense. We know where the lasers are. We know where the players are. They know where they are. Who's gonna make the player? To Naval HUD. Now it becomes down to just raw skill. Timmy deciding an interesting angle. Instead of holding one he can easily hold, he's going for the back and forth peek. But holds his gun in the same spot. Oh no. Sir Gray swings it and finds the headshot. confirming the kill, and takes the round for the side of Las Patrones. Our brain is buffering, as you can tell. Dirk Ray finding 2 and a revive. Ivan finding 2 and Exer finding 1 for the side of Las Patrones. Killswitch finding 2 with Timmy and Tylee. Leaving it down to a 1v1, a very close round, but still going in the favor of Las Patrones. Continuing their comeback after being in a 3-1 point, now bring it to a practically a 3-5. But to that, Killswitch on the attack is gonna have to answer a beautiful attack from Las Patronos, as hopefully we can keep these lobbies going to not make it too late. Yes, I am from EU. It is currently 4:36 a.m. for me, and I don't have enough sleep this week. But I'm gonna power through. I'm gonna be great. I might be a little low energy and I might be a little bit harsh to the teams, but at the end of the day, I still really enjoy doing this, and I'm having fun. And I hope these teams get something out of it. You know, maybe it's a funny VOD, maybe it's a funny highlight video. Maybe it's a little bit of tactical ideas on like where can we improve, what can we do better. Or maybe they're gonna chill me out for being a little harsh or a little rude to them. Make sure you keep your tablet. And they will never let me cast again. I'm gonna smear my name. Who knows? We're gonna find out the hard way.
Hero OBJ.
Tylee making a call out. Silver Bodyguard not slowing down.
North of OBJ.
No zone. Finding the pick from gas station. 4v5. Kill switch. Again on the back foot. But we've seen it make it work. Churro, what the fuck are you doing? Go all the way against North Wall when the objective is all the way in the south. TNH playing around Impact. Seem to have traded some shots with Sir Grey, who's still looking in the same direction, but Sir Grey is also getting looked at by... That's not Sir Grey, that's Sir Grey. By Tylee. Making callouts in Spanish, so I cannot tell you what they were doing, what they were saying. You know, I hope for the best. Trying to relay some information about what is going on. We have TNH looking from Impact. Nozone still being in that gas station spot, going for a bit of a lean peek, trying to find Tylee. Being very mobile. Timmy trying to sneak up on the gas station, but he's gonna be in time for Tylee, who's not looking in this direction. If Nozone continues to swing this, he is gonna get a very easy pick, hopefully. Checks his tablet, holds his angle, does not continue to swing. As Churro, across the map, might find the DF soon. DNH finds Sir Grey in center building. No zone trying to, seems like swinging, gets Timmy, Timmy gets no zone and TNH got only hit, getting away with just a slight hit. Ivan laying on the top of the hospital building. Los Patrones losing the advantage. Kill switch, switching the match back into their advantage. Churro still playing the long game. Los Patronos defense is massive as Exer takes out Churro. They have I'm gonna say it, a ballsy fucking setup. If Ivan goes down, Exer has to rotate. And he seemed to have done that, exactly that, coming back. I thought it was a bit further back. Now playing closer around the objective, not allowing the flank to continue. Churro is still alive. Able to make callouts, but doesn't seem to be in a spot to see much.
Far west.
Calling out the position. If Fama's on single fire, not something I see every day. Taking shot at TNH. Rotating further back. Seems like Las Patrones is coming back from their more aggressive push as Ivan takes out Timmy in gas station. Now being at 2v2.5. Confirming his kill. I don't think we're gonna see Churro being picked up, so I'm gonna say it's a 2v3. As Tidy and TNH are the last two alive. TNH going for some shots with his LMG, not finding much. Tidy trying to clear the top of the building, but nobody is down there.
6324573. Okay, we gotta make some money moves, dude.
Tidy memorizing the code. Calling out, we gotta make some money moves. The move has to be made here, as they wanna not give Las Patrones that advantage.
Yeah, I'm burnt.
TNH continuing to crawl around the southern building. Might run into Extra soon. Might run into Ivan. Might run into TF. But for now, he's holding a interesting angle. 1 minute 20 on the clock. Plays have to be met.
17.
Tidy realizing there's not a lot of time left. TNH running or crawling across the street. While sweeping wide, far and wide. Extra being in an angle to push him, to peek him. But does he know where to look? Ivan gets a pick, starts running. Smoke coming out. Now it's a rough spot for Los Patrones, but they do find TNH just in time. Not allowing their side to be covered with smoke. Tylee, 44 seconds on the clock, has to make a 1v2 move with a lot of space to cover between him and the objective. Having to almost sprint entirely to get there. DF being in a spot to just wait him out. 30 seconds on the clock. The beep 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 went off. He's still looking at his tablet. Don't know what he's looking at, but there's 25 seconds on the clock, so not a lot of time to act on that information. He runs forward. Finds Idaru. Or TF. Heals himself. 14 seconds on the clock. Has to cap here. I believe there's a spot here. But this is enough. Can he cap in time? Exer pre-firing. Try to spook the shit out of him. As Tylee does get the cap and wins round 4. Kill switch. Exer getting the kill, but it's not enough. What a play from Tylee. Getting a cap, getting 2 kills. Or 3 kills on the board right now. What a beautiful, beautiful last second clutch with only 5 seconds on the clock to left on the cap. Pooh, that is very, very well done from Tylee. Answering the cap from Les Patronos on the on egress. Not being knocked out of the fight, and the overall score. If you look at the overall scoreboard right now, it is a close match. This is the decider map. Whoever wins this wins the match. Yes, there we go. And has to, is going to be able to take it home. But now Killswitch having to defend. Patronos having to attack. Patronos being in the position to get a tie or get a apologies. Get a tie or get the lead back with a cap. Killswitch also being able to put it on match point by just defending this objective for the 6 minutes allotted. And we're gonna see an 8-minute timeout, so I'm gonna go to be right back because my voice does not like it. So we're gonna be back in 8 minutes as these teams need a quick timeout. But yes, I hope you guys stick around, and I'll see you in a good bit. And with that, we're back. The round has started. Or at least is starting. The break has been over. I hope these teams had the time
No, it's too many.
Do you have the first strap?
It's already risky for
What?
me to do it.
to charge back up. I was quickly listening for their conversation. Now we're gonna see a relatively quick spawn here from the side of Los Patronos. I am reinvigorated, rehydrated, and ready to finish out this match. And hopefully these teams as well. Extra taking a bullet but not getting killed. As he's crawling over the street, finds Silver Bodyguard, finds the kill.
Mate uno en el hoyo. El otro hoyo está ahí por la gasolinera. Ahí está en el hueco.
Calling him out in Spanish, I believe. Now leaving a 4v5 a skill switch. He's gonna try to defend their advantage and maybe take it home or put it at least on match point here. As Los Patronos is gonna try to not give up yet and take the.
It's a 4v4 right now.
It is not actually tidy. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you have 5 enemies.
Hospital, help me out with that one. I can flash.
And with that, flash coming out. Yes, Los Patrones here to try to tie it back up to a 9-9 score, maybe even a 10-9 if they manage to get a capture of the objective.
I'm pinned down. Whoever's in hospital can help me out. Copy.
Tylee calling for some backup, trying to
Copy.
not get killed here. He does have a way out actually. He does have a way to get escape, but does he know that? Gee, does he? Yeah.
He's behind hospital. There's at least one there. One by tank, one by tank.
Beautiful call out coming out from Tylee. I'm just quickly trying to listen. Timmy coming in for the sport. Study is not backing down. He's not trying to change his position. Just gonna sit there and wait while Timmy is gonna try to get an off angle on him. Trying to get that big as. Oh no. Ivan is in a very rough spot relative to Timmy. If they can find each other, if they're looking for each other, they might get a pick here. But otherwise, it's gonna be a rough. A rough play here for the side of Kill Switch. Still listening for those callouts, trying to figure out what is going on in their heads, trying to have an idea like what are they planning, what are they doing. Hero is still sitting in center, and so far not a lot of things have happened after the first early engagements. You know, with a quick spawn you always get a bit of interesting things going on. Ivan trying to find Timmy, not getting the pick. He's gonna swing it again and gets the headshot with the tap fires, leaving Tylee alone. But Chiro taking out Exer. It's now back to a 4v3. Trades coming back and forth, and Kill Switch not being on the advantage of those trades. Now has to really worry. But 3 of the Los Patronos are in the same spot, but Sir Grey playing the off angle, taking out Tylee, putting Kill Switch on the back feet. It looks like Los Patronos is in the position to at least tie it back up. Flashes and grenades coming out. Now Churro and TNH have to really hold it down. Smoke's coming out as well, but doesn't seem to be entirely in the position they need to be in, as it does cost them TF. Ivan going for a flash. TNH not being in a good spot, trying to counter flash, not being there in time. Churro now being a 1vx. Churro takes out Ivan, who was not able to be in the right spot for the cap, but Sir Great gets Churro instead, denying the cap and getting the most value he could out of his play, out of his position in a 1v3. He managed to not allow the cap to happen, but is not able to secure the win. So a very close round, a very nail-biter round, as the tablet was out. The cap was being attempted, but it wasn't positioned entirely correctly for the cover. And now we see a Kill Switch player drop. Oh no. That is not what you want to see in a match that is currently at 9-9. I would like to point out it has been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So far it has been rough. Where Timmy rejoins, we see Tylee with a cap and 3 kills, TNH with 3 kills, in 3. Sir Grey with 4 in 1 and Extra with 5 in 2. A lot of good players, a lot of good plays being made tonight in this match. To see who is gonna. It seems like we're just gonna be looking for who's gonna take the 19th place here, as both of these teams are very close in MMR and very close in their matches. As their public MMR at least is both 1200 in the silver range. So I'm very curious who is gonna move up to where, because there is basically no difference in the score so far, and I think it's really gonna come down who's gonna get the last round and who's gonna be able to maybe close it out. Because it could very well be that we're gonna see the third map go to the 7th round, or 7th score at least. As we have seen some caps come out. However, the next match is shaping up. The next round, I should say. I keep messing up my words.
I think it's best when we all attack at the same time.
Can we go south?
Yeah.
Some strategies coming out on the side of the kill switch. All attack at the same time. That is indeed a very good strategy. Make sure you overwhelm them and take the match here. If they cap either of the teams, or if kill switch caps here, it's over. If Los Patrones manage to defend it, they get the chance to attack and maybe take a bigger lead by taking a cap or winning it. So it is very close for both sides. As both of these teams are trying to lock in, you know, some exhaustion might set in. Maybe a little tired, maybe your judgment is a little clouded. Extra is in a position to take out Silver here and gets the pick. Putting kill switch down early on, with Extra with a beautiful forward push. And hi Captain True, there's a 3-minute delay. So hello, welcome in, and it's a very close match so far. This is the third map out of all of them as Sir Grey takes out Churro. TNH now being in a rough spot on the tank courtyard, being almost surrounded in a 3v5. Los Patrones might be pulling ahead. It looks like even the north is entirely infected with defenders. It is a very open defense. If they can get a punch through, if they can take out Exer, No Zone, and TF in time, they might have an opportunity to cap. But for that, they still have to win basically a 3v3 while getting shot at from the north.
What happened downstairs?
TNH swinging it. Binding Sir Grey on a down, but he's still in a position to get revived. Now it's getting very rough. Timmy being all the way in the south, crawling over. Oh, so slowly. Oh, so carefully. Riley. Pushing Extra firing early, getting picked off, but Sir Grey gets picked up. It's back to a 4v3. The first Las Patrones player is down. Toddy using a syringe, getting hit, and then a change. We see THX get taken out by Sir Grey, who got revived. Getting his refrag for himself. But now, Tylee, together with Timmy, the two T's are gonna have to put their best foot forward and try to make something of this match. But Timmy gets spotted and taken out by Sir Grey, and now it's just for Tyler. We've seen him making a good play. We've seen his attempts. He smokes. Sir Grey has to know where he is at this point. Smoke's coming out of the tank courtyard hole. Sir Grey already in position to look at him. Yes, two lasers pointed at his current position. Scared to push out as a grenade is closely connected. He decides to rotate around. He has the time, he has the space to really move around and re-engage. But he has to do it right. So far, it seems like he has to ride it. Nope. That is back to tank courtyard to know which building you're in. It is a admirable play. You might get picked off if you try to rotate any other way. So, it is something, but I am unsure how much value he can get out of this. As he is looking for maybe another cap. If he caps you, that would be a crazy play. I think that might be the play of the day or play of the week even. He has 2 minutes. He has the time to consider his options. Find a way in, but he has to get past no zone at least. If he goes to the south, there might be somebody watching his position from the north. For that, he starts on his push. A minute 30. He fires no zone. Now knowing where to look. Swinging him and finds Styly, putting Las Patronos back into the lead. After losing map 1, capping to win map 3, they are coming back from a rough match so far. It's been a long match. We have been live for a good 2 hours. We had a 5-minute or 8-minute break. But so far, it's been back and forth. Nobody has taken the lead. This could very well be the last round, or we might see yet another, basically a death match, or not a death match, a sudden death for the map. But first, Guildswitch versus Las Patrones, setting up to defend this. Whew. I don't know what to call this objective. It is open. It is wide. It is hard to defend. It's easy to defend. It all depends on what angle you're coming from, which players you are, and there's a lot of it. It is one of the more interesting objectives from Quarantine, but also one of the hardest ones to defend, I would say. It is a big open area. There's not a lot of hiding spots, and there's a lot of angles the enemies can come from. So finding a good spot and holding it and trying to prevent any caps, it's gonna be rough. There's a few nasty spots. For example, behind the wall you can cap, I believe, so you're almost in cover, or you have to like slightly peek out, so you can entirely play here. There's a lot of angles, and it is gonna be interesting to see what these teams are gonna do. There we go. And with that, Killswitch setting up their defense, which could very well be the last round of this drawn out match. Churro finding early line of sight on the Las Patrones players.
Hospital.
Calling out hospital, the building in the far south. Letting know, like, hey, they're coming from this direction, which helps a lot because there's a very nasty spawn. As we do see syringe being used. Tylee might have connected some shots, or might have been Silver Bodyguard. But now it's becoming a very big play. Silver Bodyguard and Tylee both taking a more defensive position, deciding to not peek it out. Ivan downing THX and getting to confirm from way downtown. Calling him out. Now knowing Las Patronos has the advantage. Being in the position to take the map, match, and the night here. Now realize those.
Potential down on top of hospital.
Tylee calling out Ivan, thinking he has downed him, not actually having downed him.
Potential -1 on top of hospital.
Dr. Gray and Exer sneaking up, being in a position to contest him. I doubt they've heard him. Tylee's almost swinging it, showing his feet. Exer realizing Sir Gray's behind him. Sir Gray rotating. Exer having to find a different approach. Flash coming out, but it seems like it's way too far away to really connect with anybody. It is now a very slow waiting game. Killswitch cannot afford to lose any of their players. As I say that, who is that? Churro is all the way down in hospital to try to contest. Hearing Ivan, knowing he's there, Not realizing he's on the roof, it seems like. Churro. Being called out, I believe, as well. Might have just... It is a risky play. But if it doesn't matter as much if he dies or if he gets capped on. Because either way, he's not going to win it. So if he gets the pick, he has a lot of map control. But he needs to do that in time, as it seems like the assault in the north is setting up. Silver bodyguard about to face two people as Ivan takes out Tylee from all the way across the map. Now it's a 3v5. Los Patronos trying to set up, make sure their picks are valuable. They don't get picked off and they keep control over the map. We still have the two players all the way in the south, and I'm trying to keep an eye on what is going on there. Timmy and Silver Bodyguard being left on point. Sure, still playing down in the basement. Silver Bodyguard takes out Sir Grey, who's smoked. Trades with TF, leaving Exer and Timmy in a 1v1, as well as Churro, who's pushing up to Ivan. Ivan having the advantageous position. Churro feeling the pressure of not messing this up. He has to win this or his team could very well be done for. Flash coming out but not dropping into a spot where it connects. Ivan's flash connecting better. Ivan gets the pick and now it's just up to Timmy. He knows where Exer is, it seems like. Holding his angle, waiting it out. Exer not knowing where to look. A lot of angles to come from. Timmy gets the kill. It's a 1v1. A 1v2? Nozone has been alive the entire time. Nozone has all the control. Nozone looking for that high open angle on the building. Looking for that last pick they just need. It's just 1 kill away from ending the match here. It's been going on for a good 2 hours. It is a long drawn out match. Everybody's tired. Everybody's headsets are beeping at them that they're low. We had to take a break to charge them. But it might be over soon. If only they knew where to find Timmy. They have heard him shoot. They have a rough direction. Timmy not knowing where to look. There's a lot of spots he can come from. He has not seen Nozone at all. Ivan, you might know, but Ivan having a lot of space to rotate. A minute 30 on the clock. The time is now starting to work against the side of Los Patronos. They've taken their time. They've taken their picks. But now it comes down to finishing it off and getting Timmy or getting the cap. 1 minute on the clock. The pressure starts to build. The Los Patronos feeling the pressure. Hey, we need to win this. It's hope. Then we're free. We cannot lose this now. Otherwise, Killswitch could bring it back. A minute on the clock. They don't want to make any harsh decisions, but they need to make them quick. Timmy playing a little further away. Almost peeking into the line of sight of no zone. Ivan still crawling up. Looking for a cap, maybe even. It's 44 seconds on the clock. Starts to tick down, starts to put pressure on the Los Patronos. We're gonna hear the 30-second beep, and that's when we start seeing people lose their mind, or lose their lose their focus, lose their discipline. 30 seconds on the clock. Ivan has his tablet out, but he has to pass to the line of sight of Timmy. No zone is nowhere near to support Ivan. Crawling up into the line of sight of Timmy. Timmy blowing up his C4, shooting low. Giving away his position, Ivan now being able to smoke it out. A flash beautiful connects, but is it enough? Timmy wasting as much time as he can. Ivan not being in a position to really play. And it is a 3-3. Timmy wastes enough time, even with a fumble on the shots on Ivan. As it is 3-3. It is match and map point. Look at the scoreboard. It was 4-3. 3-4 for Killswitch. Round 1. Los Patrones winning it back on map 2 on egress. Now it being 3-3. It is a incredibly close game. This last round is gonna determine it all. Who is gonna take home this victory? We're gonna have Los Patrones on the defense, Killswitch on the attack. So far, it is not looking good for Killswitch. Looking at the scoreboard, their KD is significantly lower on average than the Los Patronos. Los Patronos having Grey, Sir Grey with 7 in 2, who has been a very consistent, dangerous player on the side of Los Patronos this night. Exer an amazing player as well. The captain of Las Patrones, showing why he's here. 6-4. Ivan with 5-2. No zone. 3-2. TF with 1-2. Holding it close, holding it together. You know, you might not get the most kills, but if the kills are viable, it could mean a lot. On the side of kill switch, 2-3 for Churro, 4-5 for Tyler, but having a cap on the board, getting his team 2 rounds with just a single code being put in. TNH 3-5 and Silver Bodyguard and Timmy both with 2 kills on the board. It is going to be a very close match. It's going to come down to just this round. We've been here for 2 hours and 10 minutes and we're going to see Crater spawn for the side of kill switch. This can be a very, very quick round. It could be over just like that.
I'm going all the way to try and take the rooftop of the building.
It just depends on how much discipline kill switch can show and if Las Patrones can find them in time. The round has started. 6 minutes on the clock and it's going to be the last 6 minutes of this night and of this stream, of this match. These players both all feeling the pressure, all feeling that it has to happen now. There's no more second chances. There's no more coming back. It is just win or lose. Silver Bodyguard might be the first one to make contact with TF, but do they see each other or is there a Humvee in the way? No lasers being traded. Shots being traded. Ivan takes the first pick. Ty Lee being the first one to go down, being out for the rest of the match. It's starting to get close. Ivan now knowing where they are, playing the very long angle from the wing. But he might find, Churro might find him. If Churro looks in the right direction, Churro gets spotted. Ivan gets spotted as well. And now it becomes an aim battle. Or is Churro going to disengage? We're going to see. Churro decides to not continue this fight. Not putting his team at risk. And Silver Bodyguard goes down. And Killswitch is at a 3v5 disadvantage. Being at the positional disadvantage of the attack. As Churro gets taken out by No Zone. It is not looking good. TNH and Timmy are the last one alive. Now it becomes time to make a play. Be a hero for your team. Or go down like the rest of your team and lose it after a drawn out battle of 2.5 hours almost. It comes down to these 2 players. TNH and Timmy. Timmy, the defender on Bazaar. Taking out the whole team almost on himself. Now being in an attack position, crawling across the open. TNH, the underdog of the night, I would say. Getting consistently middle frag, I would say. Timmy, not having a lot of information, not having anybody looking out for him. But Ivan is looking for him. TNH gets taken out by Ivan as well. Ivan the sniper, getting 8-2. Taking out almost the entirety of kill switch and closing out the round for Las Patrones. And that is how a close game gets ended in just over 2 minutes of a round. With that, it is played, it's done. The match is over. We're gonna take a look at the scoreboard. Las Patrones losing in round 7 of Bazaar. Capping it back in round 6 of Egress. And playing it slow and careful on Quarantine. Takes home the win for the match between Las Patrones and Killswitch. And with that, the match has come to an end. We shake hands. We celebrate the amazing competitive integrity of all of these players. The fun we have had. And I want to thank you all for watching. And with that, I'm going to sign off. So, if you like more casts, let me know. Drop me a follow if you want to see more. I might cast some Breachers, I might cast some Onward. Or I might just stream something entirely different. I'm still figuring it out. I'm just doing what I find fun. But with that, we're going to sign off. After a 2 hour, and I would say 20 minutes almost, match between these 2 teams. It's been a close one. It's been a good one. And I'll see you all later.